Hello and welcome to Storm Swords. This is game 2 of AtroX eSports Toxic versus Tonka Truck 2. Again, I'm joined by Nick.
Hello.
And yeah, I'll introduce Toxic again, the blue team on the left. We're going to have Krieg, the team captain, playing that Zagara. Pestilence, who was so good on the Stitches last game, going to be playing that Muradin. Fuimbu on the Reyna. Tazantha playing Zagara. And, oh, sorry, not Zagara, playing the Lost Vikings. And Spada playing Karazin. So Tazantha going into all three lanes.
Over there for Tonka Truck, we do have Spiro on the ETC. We have VV on the Vala. We have Kirito on the Thrall. Poshmop this time is on the Falstad. And Mordasaro is on the Rhaegar. And it looks like we're going to have a fight right off the bat here as Kirito runs straight into Spada. ETC is going to power slide over. And Spada's going to be taking a lot of damage, but a nice little dash is going to get him out of trouble there.
Yeah, that power slide, he needed to move forwards a little bit, and then that face melt to push him back would have pushed him into the rest of the team, and Spada quite possibly would have been the first blood then. But, alas, nobody died, and yeah, the ETC didn't get himself killed either, so that's all good.
And that top lane is empty, except for the Olaf, which is going to be gaining some experience. I mean, Olaf and Balog separated here to gain as much experience as they can, and it looks as though Balog's in a bad position, but Spiro wasn't able to finish him out before he could go for a drink.
Yeah, now what really should be happening here is they should send the Thrall and the Falstad to roam between the lanes and pick off the Vikings, because they kill one and that's a lane that's not getting soaked. If you kill two of the Vikings, that's literally you're back level on soak and you've gained experience doing so. So if you have those two just roaming between the lanes, picking off the Vikings, as the ETC is on, so the Falstad is on Balog in the mid lane, you're not going to lose that experience. So that's what I'd like to see out of Tonka Truck crew here, or potentially in future games.
Has picked that up and gone for the watchtower there as well, so they can grab both of the little laser temples. Yeah.
Yeah, so middle temple going to be contested here by Toxic, and they are just going to give up 1-for-1. But it's actually a better trade here for Tonka Truck crew, as they got more shots in total. They got some shots off on that middle temple. And if they equal up, then yeah, they'll be able to, like I say, get a little bit of a better trade off here. So we'll play by that.
Always a good one to do there is take that temple, get a few shots off it, and just back up before you get yourself into trouble. The Vikings are doing what we're expecting the Vikings to be doing in this game, as once again they are split across all three lanes.
Yeah, and in fact we're just going to have Toxic just push this fort and actually take that down. So one temple's down and already a fort's gone.
Yeah, very quick fort for them, but they are going to get collapsed on here, and this is a really bad position. The power slide from Spiro doesn't catch anybody, but he is able to get close enough to Fu to put some damage down. That adrenaline rush is going to pop, keeping him alive. Now VVV being forced to tumble away as he gets chased down, and they get out with no casualties there. Spiro going back in, the face melt to push them away. Poshmop out the side, putting some damage into the Muradin, but no one going to fall there.
Yeah, just a lot of damage done, mostly against Toxic, but they did do a good bit of punishment back. Tend to have just squishier heroes though, because Reyna's got that adrenaline rush heal, and obviously with a Muradin, it's quite tanky. So yeah, interesting to see that nobody died. I really expected Tonka Truck to capitalise on the advantage they managed to seize there with that backstab. But in the meantime, they're just going to have two of them pushing the top lane as the Thrall goes up against those Siege Giants and the Eric in their bottom.
Toxic are using the lull, though, to pick up their Bruiser Camp. So that's going to go and help push that top lane back against Spiro and VVV. And
Who need to leave. They need to leave.
They really need to get out.
Yeah, and Spiro's going to get slowed and caught. He's probably going to end up dying. All the heals coming out from the Rhaegar, who's put himself in a bad position, but it does mean that everyone's going to escape with their lives. And wow, really, really well played there by Mordasaro.
Yeah, pretty good there for, I would say, a completely bloodless game, but one of the Vikings has died. It's not quite a full death yet, though. Oh, Spiro, though, getting caught out, and he will be the first full player to drop here. Going to put Toxic in a really strong position to push onto that top, as they now have a 4 versus 3.
Yeah, power slide really, really risky to use there. The Muradin just followed up with a stun, and that was that. And the Rhaegar's going to end up getting picked off. The gate fell, and yeah, he was able to be targeted by that Zagara and Rhaegar. Way too much damage coming out of those two. Sparta dashing, striking himself to safety quite happily as the Thrall deals with the bribed up siege giants that the Vikings managed to take. So, Viking bribe.
Ooh, Kirito, that's not where you want to go. Almost walking straight into the middle of Toxic there, but they weren't quick enough to collapse on him, and it looks like now they've realised he's there, he's going to be able to run for it.
Yeah, Muradin looking to maybe get that stun off, but he was body blocked by his team, and yeah, the rest of his team on foot, not mounted, meant that he could just escape quite happy. So, Kirito, do what he can to stay alive.
Once again, fast pushes here coming out of Toxic. They're straight onto those temples soon, onto the forts as soon as they can. That temple putting some damage in, where Sparta's just able to heal himself up while he's fighting with the defenders there.
Yeah, and that top fort does end up falling in favour of Tonka Truck Crew, but the bottom fort and quite likely the rest of this top fort against them will probably end up falling to this temple as Karazim's just soloing that quite happily. We're going to fight here. Bit of a 3v4. In fact, we're going to have a fifth one come up here. The Zagara Mordo, level 10 for Toxic. As the ETC tries to power slide through and face melt. Doesn't end up saving the Falstad, but does save Mordor Sorrow on that Rhaegar. Well played by him.
They have abandoned the tower though, and it only has 2 shots left in. They're going to send a Viking back to mop it up, I think.
This has actually been a small bug that's been happening recently. Fixed now by the Li Ming patch, but because this was played before then. Yeah, the towers, for some reason, they don't register the last 2 shots being picked up, even if your entire team is on it, as long as you've taken all of the shots. And Mordor Sorrow, in fact, brought himself into a bad spot, getting killed. Posh Mop, potentially going to end up falling as well, but no, he'll be able to back himself away. Barrel roll to safety on a really, really good power slide, plus face melt by Spiro to save his team, but they end up following up for pushing for an engagement when they won the disengage. They should just back off.
Yeah, just as they're trying to make some space here to push this boss, but Tonka Truck can see this boss happening and looking for the right time to engage that boss, as that boss is going to put a lot of damage down onto the Muradin. A nice power slide there, and a face melt's going to pick them up. No, the Muradin does not fall. Instead, both ETC and Falstad fall for nothing there.
Yeah, they are. It does mean that Toxic are going to end up picking this boss. And that will move on towards the keepers. There is no fort in that bottom lane. The Rhaegar and Vala having to try and get away from this. Going to have the strafe come out for Vala, but she's going to be stunned by the Muradin and just absolutely erased from this game. As level 10 is finally reached for Tonka Truck Crew. 2 levels behind. As we move into what is now going to be kind of the mid stage of this game. Hopefully see some more even fights coming out between the two, as both do have their ultimates now. See if we get Mosh Pit coming out for the ETC. 7 kills to 0. And we do get Mosh Pits, that's going to be pretty good. Mighty Gust, as we saw, we had the strafe there.
Spiro engaging a little bit too deep there on trying to stop those bruisers from being picked up, but was a little too late to the party, and just takes a bit too much damage there. Forced to back up a little bit.
Yeah, so good kind of defensive play at the moment. Just need to throw those multi-shots, throw those hungering arrows out, and try and force them away, deal damage to that hard camp, those bruises as they come in. Find the rest of the team coming in.
Relentless Spirit with a nice power slide over there on Pestilence, but no real damage coming out off the back of that.
Yeah, I feel like a Mosh Pit may even have been good there, because it would have landed on 1, maybe even 2, landing on the Sparta as well, on that Karazim. But yeah, 1 2-man Mosh Pit is absolutely worth it. We saw, at least the order in which I'm releasing these, you'll see an amazing Mosh Pit in one of the games. I've casted them slightly out of order, but yeah. Not all Mosh Pits have to be that good. So we're going to have a good Devouring Maw here landing on 2.
Ooh, that Maw.
The Hyperion coming down, really, really isolating out the rest of the team. The Mighty Gust push him away, not able to save the Thralls. VVVVV just does a bit of poke damage, tumbles away with a bolt, and he's going to be able to disengage.
Mop being forced to go to the bottom lane to try and clean up where the Vikings were pushing on, but he's going to get cleaned up for his troubles there. Vikings pushing with those sieges in the bottom.
Yeah, Mercenary Lord taken.
Yeah.
Just so much damage to that keep, and it might end up falling to just the siege golems. The ETC coming in, going to try and disrupt this, but Eric going to be able to escape.
Run, little Eric! Run! Run, little Eric! Yeah, ETC gave up his chase.
Yeah.
Oh, but Rhaegar's hungry for blood. No, he's going to run away as well.
Yeah, and that keep did end up falling, so, one keep down. We are 9 minutes, well, almost 10 minutes in now, and it's looking really good for Toxic to take this in a 2-0 sweep. But we can't count anyone out yet. Heroes has good comeback mechanics. Sky Temple, not one of those maps that you particularly think of comebacks because of how strong the objectives are, but anything is possible. In fact, Mordor Sarrow getting caught out a little bit here, taking a lot of damage.
Perfect mosh pit targets there, and he lands it on 4, but he is interrupted right away.
Yeah,
Rhaegar forced by the Ancestral Healing as a Longboat Raid is going to try and chase them down. They're going to have to back up so they don't take too much damage. But the little Dwarf Toss with a hammer is going to catch that Vala. It's going to be the first death of this fight. Spiro going back in with the engage. He doesn't have that mosh pit now, so he's just going to have to put up whatever axe he can. Poshmark coming over, trying to push them away with the gust. Down comes the Hyperion while they try and push on. The keep looks like it's going to fall in the middle of this fight as well, and potentially they could look at rushing the core.
Yeah, definitely. With those stuns just constantly landing on the Vala, she just gets killed. She gets hit by a stun, she gets killed, and this is going to be all 3 keeps down. In fact, as we're going to see Toxic just commit to it.
And Poshmark a little bit too far forwards there. He's going to get caught and get taken down. BVV on the Vala. Luckily has some minions in the way there. He's able to retreat through. But put some nice damage down on Pestilence. But yeah. Karazim there with the palm to keep him alive. Now the Vikings are in trouble as they do get cleared up there by the Thrall. No way, Eric is running away.
Yeah, so that would have been the first legitimate death had the Muradin fell, but really, really well timed Divine Palm. Just nice and safe. Going to end up being 1 kill on the board in total, as 4 Vikings have died in this game so far, and the next wave of temples have spawned, top and bottom. So this is a really, really good kind of timing for Toxic, because they just managed to win massively. They got all the keeps, backed off, only lost a couple Vikings, and by the time they've gone back and got all their health and mana, that's when the temples
only
spawn.
Structures up is a cannon and the core. So once that cannon falls, which it now does, all these shots are going to be straight into the core.
Yeah, and they need to defend against this, because this temple might just end up killing the core. I know 1 full temple does kill the core, but it used like 4 shots maybe on that last
4
tower.
or 5
so
shots on that tower.
We'll have to see if it does kill it.
I don't think it will, but if Toxic are in the right position and can walk towards that before the shields come up, they could take it down.
They're taking the boss though. Good play by them. They're just absolutely securing the victory here. Take the boss, push with it. It'll be able to do the last little bit.
7% at the end of the lasers, but this boss is going to secure that for them, because there is no way that Tonka Truck can kill this boss before it reaches their core. They're
GG
too
with a little
spread out.
smiley face. They know they've lost, but they had fun doing it. That Gazlo pick game 1. But remember, Tonka Truck crew, they're not out. This is a league, so they'll get to play the other teams and potentially get some victories come out here soon. But VVV, meanwhile, this fight gonna get a good strafe off. The Ancestral blown on him instead of the ETC. Does mean that the
Krieg goes down as well, looking to pick up some kills in this final fight. They know they're out, but they can go down with a blaze of glory.
And yeah, there was certainly a blaze of glory, but it wasn't for them, I'm afraid. And we see that last little spike ball spinning in the air. Tonka Truck crew bow out graciously 2-0 to AtroX eSports. Toxic in this league, which gives them that tidy 3 points.